Good morning and good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. We're here on Wednesday, which means it is Wacky and Weird Wednesday. That's right, we have all the news stories that will make you go, huh? What? About happening all over the globe. And I hope we interest you. I guess mine are usually something. This is the first and only international game show, Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where we look up our stories right before the show starts. We just got caffeine in our body and we're learning to read and speak live on stream. Let's get into those wacky headlines and roll and spin that segue wheel. Today on Wacky and Weird Wednesday, Niels Wenars wins famous British cheese rolling contest. I am a god here. And not a paratrooper, that's not what I wanted to say. A paraglider saves her life after being hit by a plane in a full jump.
That's weird. And more weird news. A Wisconsin driver has embarrassed himself by driving onto a freshly paved concrete road. And that's a quick story. And a Thailand person, in Thailand, some rocks in somebody's yard turns out to be a giant dinosaur.
Oh, damn. Farmer stunned as live frog found inside Woolworth store salad bag. And Game of Thrones star suffered catastrophic psychotic break after joining a cult.
And we're going to update Voyager 1, which is so far away from Earth, it takes 2 days for one simple transactional communication. And something is happening to Earth. Earth is spinning slower and slowing down. What's happening?
In my culture news, French Open fashion. How Naomi Osaka's gold dress reveals tennis still has some growing up to do.
And it's National Flip-Flop Day, so I'm going to enjoy this day. Oh, maybe I'm not. I can't make up my mind. I'm being all flip-floppy. It is May 27th, 2026, on Before Coffee. That I will know. Just had a primary where they finally decided who's going to live.
Sorry, I missed everything you said because it was the intro.
Texas nominated a criminal for Senate in the Republican Party, so that's cool. Ken Paxton, the guy that the Republicans wanted to impeach as criminal, now he's their nominee for Senate, so hopefully they lose that. With James Tallarico, the guy who got famous for being banned by CBS for some reason. Remember that? Well, Colbert was interviewing him and said, "Oh no, you can't show that. That's political blah, 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 blah." Okay. You didn't show equal time to his opponent. We didn't show equal time to his opponent that we had on last month. You're right. You're absolutely right. We had his opponent on last month, and now we're not showing equal. Or whatever.
Oh, that guy.
CBS,
okay.
That guy, yeah. James Tallarico, the guy who's a Christian. Actual Christian, the guy that actually talks like Jesus and take care of poor people and shit.
Just like Colbert does, by the way.
Yeah. Like a real Christian, like somebody that says, "Hey, it's religion. I'm just not using it to beat you over the head with it. I'm actually practicing it." That guy. Anyway.
You can't do that. That's illegal.
And these Republicans are running. The Party of Family Values is running against a guy who's wife is not allowed to talk about him. There's a restraining order, like, oh yeah, part of our divorce settlement. You can't tell us about all the crap I did when we were married. So yeah, that guy's running as a Republican.
Suspicious. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Guy whose ex-wife can't talk about him. Against I'm just saying, Texas, get your shit together. Vote for the good guys for a change. I don't care what your party is. Stop voting for criminals. I'm just saying, get it together, Texas. Come on, man. First of all, that mess
first
with
segue is...
Don't mess with Texas is not a thing, because New York City gets to dump all of its shit on Texas, literally all of its shit in Texas. You're definitely messing with Texas. All right, go ahead. Let's have a...
It reminds me of a song. And this first story is coming out of the UK for the, of course, famous British cheese roll. And a Dutchman has run one for the first time ever in the history of the cheese roll. I don't know how old the cheese roll is, but, you know.
Good up for him. That's
an easy one. Too bad we didn't get bad pun. Of course, it's mostly impressive because Dutch people, you tend to be very tall. So imagine having all those long limbs and having to run down a hill, you know. So
yeah, you're mostly falling. It's a controlled
Wenars
fall.
Mars. Niels Wenars is the famous winner this year at the Gloucester Cheese Roll Championship. The 21-year-old, this is on NOS, which is a Dutch source. The 21-year-old Niels Wenars managed to leave behind international opponents and local heroes in the hunt for rolling cheese. In cheese rolling, participants run down a steep hill, Cooper's Hill. At the same time, they theoretically go after a cheese that rolls down the same hill, but in practice it's impossible to catch up. Whoever crosses the finish line first at the bottom of the hill wins. You don't actually have to catch the cheese, you just have to get there first. The event is a local tradition. The first edition was held in 1836. Okay, so it's quite an old and for something that's as silly as this, right? It's quite an old competition. It's about to hit its 100-year anniversary in 10 years, is what it sounds like.
Wow.
Sorry, that's not math. 200-year anniversary.
Yeah, what are you doing?
It's about to hit its 200-year anniversary in 10 years, so... In recent years, the event has become increasingly popular, including on social media. The cheese rolling now attracts participants from all over the world. Since the beginning of the event, several races have been held in the men's category in one day, so there are several winners. In addition to Wenars, the German Tom Kopke won, among others. He won last year and in 2024 as well. But Tom is a returning champion. Wenars, brother of skater Joop Wenars and son of former skater Erben Wenars. By the way, that's the royalty. I know we have an actual royal family in the Netherlands, but the actual royalty in the Netherlands is I was a ice skater or a speed skater in the Olympics and I won a medal. That's the real royalty.
On Sprinker is
and somebody knows, at least somebody you know who is Dutch knows somebody who knows a skater, okay? Like an Olympic skater, because I think we have a neighbor who knows one of the Olympic skaters from the Winter Games this year, so they're everywhere. Anyways, it's a small country. Also, some images of competition on his timeline came up with the idea to travel to Gloucester. We are in the land of cheese, but no Dutchman has ever tried it. I thought, I'm going to do this, and I went in for the profit. Wenars is a fanatical athlete, active on TikTok, and according to his own words, loves extreme challenges. This is very raw. It's not even an official event. You need to come to it on the day itself and appear at the start. Participating is not without danger. Most of the participants quickly go down the steep descent. Every year, people get injured, sometimes even end up in the hospital. But the new champion had strategy, he says. I thought carefully in advance of how I would do it. Everyone starts hard, but then they can no longer keep up with their body halfway up the hill with their legs. If you manage a certain pace over the entire hill, you will stay on your feet for as long as possible. In addition, in his own words, he is not afraid so quickly. Of course, it was exciting, but I also felt like it. It's somewhat controlled. I am fit and have good motor skills. So I guess the translate not afraid. He has controls over his adrenaline. He gets adrenaline, but he doesn't let it take over, and then he doesn't panic. I'm not so quickly afraid. Wenars, who crossed the finish line with a header, is surprised by the enormous attention for his win. Not only from international media at the bottom of the hill, but also from inhabitants in his own village, inhabitants in the village where it's held, so in Gloucester. I'm a god here, he shouts through the phone, laughing. I have been photographed with people 200 times without exaggeration. And if I walk around here with the cheese, I get to drink everywhere for free. Of course, a Dutch person would be like, free beer! Woohoo! The cheese and double Gloucester goes home. He's perfect, just the way I like it. And he is quite large, so I would like to share him with family and friends. So he gets to eat his cheese with his friends, a happy Dutchman. And there's your first wacky and weird story about our favorite wacky and weird event, of course. And I love when it happens on a Wednesday. Or the Gloucester Cheese Rolling Hill Championship. There you go, that's a lot of words. And that's my story.
The song reminds me of is Salisbury Hill by Peter Gabriel, because it's the only song I can think of with a hill in it. I tried to change the lyrics to fit cheese in it too, but I was unsuccessul with anything.
Oh no.
But there you go. Climbing up in Salisbury Hill, I could see the big cheese wheel. Yeah.
You could have said Gloucester Hill instead, yeah.
Climbing up on Gloucester Hill. Called Gloucester. I think it's Gloucester, if you check into it. Maybe it's Gloucester in America and Gloucester in England, but yeah. Like Worcester.
Yeah.
Worcester, Gloucester.
Our next story is about paragliding and surviving getting hit by a plane. Not them actually physically getting hit by the plane, but the plane hit their paraglider and I guess took it along for a ride. This is on La Vanguardia, which is the only person who's only paper I saw covering the story that isn't just look at this video.
Wow.
They actually gave me a story about it instead of just watching the video. This is coming out of Barcelona, but it's originally happened in the Alps, I think. I don't know where it happened. Maybe they'll tell me. Sabrina is an Austrian paraglider with 17,000 followers on Instagram and a lot of luck. Last Saturday, which would have been, I believe, the 24th? No, the 23rd of May, last Saturday. While paragliding in an area enabled for flight in the Alps, a Cessna 172 plane hit her paraglider and was left meters away from the propeller, crashing into their body and shattered them. Sabrina was left at the mercy of severity and effectiveness of her emergency parachute, which worked. The jumper shared the video of the accident on her social media, making a big impression. She congratulated herself on this new birthday and thanked for being able to tell it, with some pretty ugly bruises and batters on her body as a result of the event. But, I mean, that's all she's got to say for it. That's impressive. Despite her luck, she's what the networks have said. Sabrina was criticized for the accident, which some users blamed for, to put in her words, fuck you. How is it my fault I got hit by a plane? I'm a paraglider. I don't control planes. And she replied along with smiling emoji before giving an explanation. I wasn't anywhere I couldn't be. The aircraft is a motorized aircraft, had an obligation to depart. The pilot of the plane also landed safely. So, yeah, I know. Everything will follow with corresponding legal channel in a completely official way and without any drama. The jumper added that the flight zone in which she suffered the accident is a flight zone in which paragliders, gliders, and planes coincide. There are rules, and even so, accidents still happen. Sabrina acknowledged in any case that she was flying without a FLARM, the electronic air collision prevention system used in these flight zones. On whether the accident of having used FLARM would have happened, she replied, I don't know. It also doesn't work with 100% reliability. Even if my next jump will be one with a FLARM, she said. So, very weird to victim blame her. What is that, misogyny or something? I don't understand where you're like, oh, you idiot woman, how dare you paraglide?
She's Sabrina the teenage
she almost
witch.
died.
Didn't take her broom.
She probably got hit on that too and blamed for it. You idiot. didn't wear your flarm on your broom. Of course you got hit by a plane. I hate people who say stuff like that. Right? Well, you didn't do every single precaution ever possible, so you deserved what happened to you. And you're an idiot.
You had an A in geography.
That poor Cessna had to land and then take off again. Oh, boo-hoo, wasted its time.
Did she file a flight plan?
Yeah, exactly right. That's what she said. Done that.
Oh, I'm serious.
I'm gonna be flying right here. No, it wasn't the plane. Yeah, but she's a paraglider. How did she?
Well, I'm just saying, why don't paragliders have to file a flight plan?
Maybe she did. I don't know. I just don't want to participate in this victim blaming, so I'm not going to.
I don't think they do have to file a flight plan. Planes have to file a flight plan. I don't think paragliders have a flight plan. They're like, I don't know where I'm going. Right?
Where the wind takes me, baby.
I'm going to glide until I land, and that's it. Maybe, I don't know, whatever.
I just don't know how you miss a paraglider. A Cessna is not a big plane. It makes sense to miss a paraglider if you're, a 747. That's pretty small. You probably suck them in your engine.
I ain't going to judge pilots.
Tiny.
I can fly a plane, and I don't know how to fly a plane, so I'm not going to say I know how they could have avoided it. So I ain't going to judge them on that. It's not my job.
But you will judge the person who got hit by the plane.
I didn't judge anybody. I just said.
Oh, okay.
When did I judge anybody? Oh my God.
She didn't
I just said if you
file
a flight plan if you're on a plane. I wonder if they have the same rules for paragliders. Judging people? Wow. You just jumped to conclusions about me. I feel offended by that. Wow.
Are you gonna give me your segue?
No.
Okay, then we'll.
My reminds me of a song is. My song reminds me of a song is Fly Like an Eagle by the C. Miller Band. I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Oh, there comes a frickin' Cessna.
To the top of the Alps. Yeah. Fly like an eagle. In the cold winter. It doesn't even look like they're in a tall place. But
Eagles.
I do have a picture of it.
Eagles do this thing where they just flap their wings a couple of times and they just glide for like 20 minutes. So that's the kind of flying they were doing anyway. So paragliding is that type of flying. Yeah,
if I could show you this picture of the event, because obviously she was filming, so she has a picture of it. The plane is literally under her paraglider. Like it just goes straight under it, in between the wires, I guess, right? The wires connecting it to the parachute. That's crazy that it went like that. If it clipped it, that would have been wild enough. But the fact that it went under the paraglider, like it was a hat. It was wearing it as a hat.
I guarantee
it's crazy to me.
The point of view, if you had the point of view of the pilot, you might have a different opinion, right? Look at it. The pilot's point of view, like, holy fuck, what the hell is that? You know, that was probably what he said. And he could have died easily too. Crashing into shit.
Sadly, we do not have, for some reason, we do not have an interview with the pilot, and they're probably avoiding it. Sabrina is a social media person, so she had already just shared it on social media.
I mean, I'm just saying, pilots got to fly a flight planes. You cannot take off from an airport without a flight plan. They will not let you take off.
Our next segue is associate.
You can take off all you want, but they'll have you arrested. Associate! I'm pretty
You're still there? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, you just stopped talking.
Why would I
didn't hear anything.
Why would I not be here?
You're just quiet for like
30
seconds. Well, it was your turn to raid, so I was confused.
We're going to talk about another person doing something that nobody expected. But it got caught on camera, so we all know about it now. KSCP.com. Ryan Pattee, Pattee. Not the traditional spelling of pate, but there you go. That's the only I can think of pronounce it. A patty, maybe. A driver in eastern Wisconsin learned that the road closed sign was up for a reason after the vehicle drove into fresh concrete earlier this month. It was last week. The Wisconsin, a couple weeks ago actually, it was May 12th. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation reminding drivers that barrier closure signs are typically in place for a good reason. We just not doing it for fun, and it isn't a reading test. It is actually a road that is closed because you can't drive on it. It's not really a road at this point. Anyway, this driver has not been identified apparently. We should identify him and just stay away from them. They're not too bright. Removed the road closed barrier on May 12th and drove onto I-41/894 or US 45 in National Avenue interchange in the city of West Allis, just outside Milwaukee. After removing the sign and driving forward, the motorist ended up stuck after the pickup sank into the freshly poured concrete and the barricade had been blocking. Crews placed barricades and signs for your safety and theirs, the Department of Transportation said. Please never remove or ignore road closed signs or any other types of barriers. This might happen to you. According to the Department of Transportation, the incident did not cause any long-term delays to the roadways project schedule. Nope. But the guy's car, again, this person's car, completely full of concrete, all underneath the undercarriage and all the mechanical stuff, everything that can get into your car, everything that's exposed to air under your car got coated in concrete. And of course, the people in the crew are just going, hey, you know what? All we got to do to concrete is smooth it out while it's still wet and repave it, and hopefully we have a good road at some point. But I don't know. There's probably rebar in there too that has to be moved, and just a big damn mess.
Yep.
So again, pay attention to road signs. If you're that stupid to move, if you think that looks like I can drive on it. That's just concrete. Hey. Yeah. Again, Mensa not holding any meetings near this person's house anytime soon. Let's have a association with being, having something done to your car that the insurance company won't pay for. There you go.
Associate this with the idea that when there's things that are in your way, it's personally against you. They put this road work up to make me late to work. These assholes.
It's all about
plan my
me
day
all the
better,
time.
but it's actually their fault.
Yeah, this is the person with no coping skills. No coping skills. Yep. Anything goes wrong in their life, the reaction is, hey, the world's against me. No, the world isn't against you.
Sometimes shit happens. Yeah.
And as they say in Wisconsin, there's only two seasons. There's winter and highway construction. Those are the two seasons in Wisconsin. So be safe out there. Our next story is not a song I was looking up the lyrics to. Our next story is the longer stories. About dinosaurs, Space Daily. I'm not sure why Space Daily is about dinosaurs, but why not? Space Daily editorial team has a story about Thailand. In a yard, a 27-ton dinosaur has been discovered. This guy just thought it was rocks.
Oh.
2026, during the dry season, when water levels are in a communal pond in northeastern Thailand, had reached enough to expose the edges. A local resident in, Chaya Phum province noticed a pile of large bones along the bank. Well, it wasn't in his yards. It was just in the river. A communal pond. The bones are unusually big. They were also, by the look of them, almost certainly old. The resident reported the discovery. Paleontologists were notified. Excavations began. The excavations took much longer. This was back in 10 years ago. Took much longer than the standard cultural framing of fossil discoveries tend to suggest. Field work at the site was conducted across multiple seasons for 3 years, and additional excavation continued as recently as 24. The bones were once recovered, had to be cleaned, stabilized, analyzed, compared against the sauropod literature, and put through rounds of measurement and interpretation, identifying new species that requires. The work took about a decade.
Wow.
We've concluded already. The result, announced on May 14, 2026, in a peer-reviewed paper in Scientific Reports, is the identification of a new species of long-necked dinosaur. The species has been named Nagatitan, oh boy, and it's named after the province, so here comes this word again. Nagatitan Triafuminesis is the largest dinosaur, let's call it NC for short, is the largest dinosaur ever discovered in Southeast Asia. There you go, big old dinosaur, a fossil. It's been, of course, been turned into rock over the time period of its non-decomposition of its fleshy stuff being eaten by microbes and whatnot.
By time.
Yeah, the bones become calcified and turn into rock or whatever chemical decomposes them. Nagatitan was sauropod, the broad family of long-necked, long-tailed, plant-eating dinosaurs. Includes the more familiar Diplodocus and Brontosaurus. The published analysis places the animal about 27 meters in length, and if you're doing that in football fields, that's about, the 35-yard line. Around 89 feet and approximately 27 metric tons. Oh boy, really heavy, including to the 9 adult Asian elephants. 9 adult Asian elephants could fit in the same scale, I guess. The proportions are almost difficult to picture. I can picture them. I don't understand what you're talking about. The animal would have been about the length of a blue whale and the weight of 3 or 4 large African elephants stacked together. There you go. I just pictured it. I can't show you a picture, but I definitely pictured it. Really big dinosaur. The species belongs to a subgroup of sauropods called the, hard to pronounce, a family of long-necked dinosaurs found only in Asia. Of course, dinosaur people have to make these words impossible to pronounce. Euhlopodidae. Euhlopodidae. There you go. What distinguished Nagatitan from the other members of the family? A particular combination of features of spine, pelvis, and legs. The sinews coverage of the fine notes the team that identified the species by compared to its anatomy against one or more than 150 dinosaur species they've discovered. It doesn't mean there's never been one ever found before. It just means they haven't identified it, or maybe they've misidentified it since they've come up with over 150 different species. There's your quick and down and dirty on the new dinosaur discovery. It's not like some kind of stop the world and recalibrate everything we've ever thought about anything. It's not exactly quantum leap in technology, but hey, we found us a big old dinosaur. And Thailand is thrilled with their new discovery, and paleontologists love this stuff, and they love to complete a chart. Nothing thrills a scientist more than filling in a space in a chart. Like, hey, there's a missing one. Like, hey, we understand where that belongs in that phylum and that family, and bring that out.
And of course, I associate this with the fact that fossils are actually very rare to be created, right? And the fossils that we have found are probably, I think it's like 1% of the total amount of dinosaurs that would have been walking. It's very, extremely rare for you as a human, anything to die and be in the right situation, like in a bog, in a really dry place, or be encompassed by limestone. All that stuff is luck based. So yeah, none of these dinosaurs were like, I'm gonna make sure I die in a place so people can find me 10 billion years from now. Nope.
Yeah, when dinosaurs disappeared, humans were not a thing. We were small mammals, probably just recently learned to walk on our back legs, right? Recently, genetically, we're back leggers now because we can see over the grass and we can see our predators, and now we're going to survive long term.
We can hide in holes during the nuclear winter, and we have fur so we don't freeze to death, and that's basically all that was
one of our quantum leaps, by the way, was learning how to walk on our back legs. So that was one of our quantum leaps, and we could see our fucking, the giant cats coming to eat us. The saber-toothed tigers are like, oh shit, it's a saber-toothed tiger, get the hell out of here! And then they
wouldn't have existed either back then, but yeah.
No, saber-toothed tigers are on planet Earth with humans. That's a fact.
No, I was talking about mammals going bipedal. I thought we were still talking about dinosaurs.
No, I was talking about
saber-toothed tigers did not exist during dinosaurs. Just to make that clear. Yeah, I know what you were talking about. I just misunderstood.
So can I say it?
You've already said it. You don't need to say it again.
No, I haven't. I'm clarifying it. I'm clarifying what I was saying, and what I'm clarifying, which I could clarify if you let me, is that humans walked on their back legs, and why that was important was we could see over that savanna grass in the plains of Africa and see that saber-toothed tiger that was about to eat us, and that's how we survived evolution. There it is. Okay. That was a quantum leap, which I'll cover tomorrow. Anyway, next story. Next man.
The next spin, we've got Tell a joke.
Tell a joke. Hey.
Our next story is going to be coming out of... I don't actually know where this is coming out of. Australia! It's from AP and The Independent. A routine Saturday night dinner in Western Australia, which again was the 23rd of May, became anything but ordinary for farmer Reese Smoker and his housemates following the discovery of a live frog in their supermarket brought lettuce. Well, at least I had something to eat while I was in there. Mr. Smoker was preparing a steak and salad meal for the 3 residents of his Esperance home when he spotted the amphibian among the leaves inside a sealed plastic bag. His housemates Laura Jones and Billy Lapine initially dismissed his claim. There's no frog in there, stop fucking with us. He's like, oh bro, there's like a frog in the lettuce. And we're like, no, you're talking the mick. That's like not real. Miss Jones told AP on Tuesday, which would have been the 26th of May, explaining the slang term for attempting to fool someone. Thank you for explaining Australian slang. Mr. Smoker then brought the bag into the lounge room to show them. Obviously, there's a little frog hiding out, and yeah, we all had a little laugh about it, Miss Jones added. The unexpected guest was subsequently named Greg by Mr. Lee Pine before being released into a nearby pond. Oh, look at this green tree frog just hanging out in the lettuce. We thought we'd give him a wee send-off tune as we played Crazy Frog for him, Lapine told. Yeah, that's right, the story gets weirder. They played Crazy Frog as they set it out into the wild. Lapine told Australian Broadcasting Corps, referencing the sweetest CGI animated character and Eurodance musician. Smoker and his partner Lily Ashby had bought the lettuce at a Woolworths supermarket in Esperance the same day Greg was discovered. 5 years ago, a shopper confronted a 3-meter-long, 10-foot-long, non-venomous diamond python on a shelf at a Woolworths supermarket in Sydney. Also in 2021, a shopper discovered a venomous pale-headed snake wrapped in plastic with lettuce in an Aldi in Sydney supermarket. What's happening in Australia? These animals getting into my lettuce. Woolworth said that the frog in the salad was an isolated incident, and there had been no other similar cases reported from at least that batch. A spokesperson said they had been in contact with the couple to apologize and provide a replacement item. Woolworth takes product quality and food safety very seriously. We work with a number of lettuce growers in WA and across Australia. Our suppliers have a rigorous process to maintain product quality. For a head of lettuce, this involves washing and a number of quality checks, which include checking for foreign materials before they are packaged and sent to our stores. Yeah, great, but they fucked up. The corporate reply to this funny story. Mistakes happen sometimes. Yeah, we understand mistakes happen sometimes. Sorry your stock went down because somebody found a frog in the lettuce bag.
Oh, you want a court name?
Oh, no.
He did, right?
Give me a joke about frogs and lettuce bags. It's a joke in itself, really.
I got 3 jokes. Customer says to the waiter, "Hey, there's a frog in my soup." Shh. That's extra. Everybody will want one. There's your joke. Next joke. Waiter, what's this frog doing in my soup? Looks like a backstroke. No joke. Did you hear about the guy who swallowed a frog? Hear about him?
No, I haven't.
Did you hear about him? He croaked. Anyway, there's your story about your joke, sorry. Thank you for the rim shot. Well-timed rim shot. Thank you. Thank you, drummer.
All right, my next story. My next story is coming from I guess Ireland. Yeah, I think she's originally from Ireland. It's from Eve Wagstaff and Holly Beale on the Irish Star, in which the story is not here in read mode. It's just a black screen. There it is. Okay. Game of Thrones actress Hannah Murray has spoken out about suffering a catastrophic psychotic breakdown after becoming involved with what she describes as a wellness cult. Look after your loved ones, everyone. You don't want them to get involved in cults, because this is what happens. Game of Thrones actress Hannah Murray has disclosed she experienced a devastating psychotic break following her involvement with what she characterized as a wellness cult. The 36-year-old star who portrayed Gilly in the acclaimed HBO fantasy drama shared details about the ordeal while promoting her new memoir, The Make Believe, a memoir of magic and madness. Speaking on The Guardian, Hannah acknowledged she never imagined she could fall victim to such an environment. That's the first mistake you make. Cults emotionally and mentally manipulate you and actually rewire your brain. That's probably why she had the psychotic break, because they actually rewire your brain. Your pleasing receptors and stuff. All you want to do is make these people happy and make sure they don't hate you, and then become a complete tool. So.
Yeah, right.
You gotta be very careful on who you let in. She said, "It's easy to go, well, that would never happen to me, but we do ourselves a disservice when we start saying that, because you don't know. It will happen to you. These people are experts in manipulation." The actress revealed she became connected with the unnamed organization after encountering an energy healer during production of the 2017 film Detroit. Hannah, who has also appeared in the coming-age series Skins as Cassie, said she joined the group at 27, describing the atmosphere as unnerving, intense, and emotionally controlling. Reflecting on her experience, she claimed, "My own experience felt highly eroticized, without anything explicitly physical happening." She also portrayed the cult leader as a charismatic and intensely provocative, alleging he maintained a commanding influence within the largely female membership. I'm sure he was having a fun time. The actress ultimately spent thousands of dollars pursuing what she described as wisdom and specialness before experiencing a severe psychotic episode that led her to admission to a psychiatric unit. Murray was subsequently diagnosed with bipolar disorder. The former Skin star said the ordeal has profoundly transformed her perspective on the wellness industry and alternative therapies, reports The Express. And that's why I completely understand when people are like give me weird looks when I say I do yoga, because they think I might be one of these people. These people are real, right? I'm gonna make you feel good. Here's some cool things. They get you in with like something that works, like meditation, and then they're like, "Now come live with me at my yoga resort. We have a commune, and don't pay attention to the fact that it's all like 50 women and just me." That's normal, you know. This is totally normal situation here. She revealed how she steers clear of practices commonly linked to spirituality and self-help culture, including meditation, crystals, and yoga. See, now she can't do yoga anymore, which is just a nice exercise you can do, and now she can't do it anymore because this asshole manipulated her into joining a cult. Hannah explained, "I don't meditate anymore. I wouldn't go into a crystal shop. I don't do yoga." The actress said she had grown increasingly conscious of how deeply wellness culture has permeated everyday life, cautioning that vulnerable individuals seeking answers could easily be lured in by promises of healing and transformation. She added, "The promise felt seductive and addictive. If I just meditate more, my life will get better." No, and that's why I always keep it real when I'm doing yoga too. I'm like, I don't really believe in this stuff, guys, but if it helps you mentally reduce your stress, which is all it should be doing, right? Reducing your cortisol levels, then that's the least it can do. But I'm never gonna promise anybody on my yoga anyways to solve their life problems because you did a freaking down dog for 10 minutes. Like, it's not gonna happen. But luckily, I mean, unfortunately, she had to go through a psychotic break and be diagnosed and go to a hospital for it, but she's out of it now. She's been decultized and is now out here sharing her message of warning. Don't get cultized.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of cults.
What's our cult?
Okay. Got some terrible puns, but hey, jokes are puns. I was going to make a joke about the Jonestown cult in Jonestown in Guyana, but I didn't. You know why?
Why?
The punchline is too long. Get it? They drank Kool-Aid. Hey. Did you hear the new cult that worships scrotums? Have you heard about it?
No, I haven't heard about this cult.
They're sacrilegious. And that is your terrible cult for today. About cults.
Terrible.
I think those are great jokes, actually. I love them.
Let's roll our next segue for our next stories. It's
Pun delivery.
hypothetical.
It's pun. All right. I still haven't got a video. Working on it. Maybe I can find something about Vincent Price. I don't know. Maybe you can find that guy. The video of the guy driving into the concrete is not a good. It's just one of them traffic cams that sees it after it happens, right? They're watching I-94 and they just swing around. The guy stuck in concrete. That's nothing. It's boring. All right, so our stories are we're going to talk about something unprecedented is happening in Earth's rotation. This is from ScienceFocus.com. Tom Haworth. Every day, Tom Haworth of ScienceFocus.com. Tom Haworth. Every day, without noticing, Earth is taking a slightly longer to complete its rotation. The shift is only measured in a fractions of a millisecond, but the focus required to produce it is almost incomprehensibly large. Wow. And according to a new study, the rate at which our days are lengthening is now unprecedented. Yeah, our days are getting longer. You think about them getting shorter, but the Earth is spinning slower. It says it's spinning slower. It's just weird. According to a new study, the rate at which our days are lengthening is now unprecedented in 3.6 million years of geological history. These findings show that if polar ice sheets and glaciers melt as a consequence of climate change, water that was once locked up at high latitudes flows to the oceans and spreads towards the equator. This shifts mass away from the Earth's poles, and like a figure skater extending her arms in mid-bend, slows the rotation. We have more stuff sticking out, ramming on to whatever dark matter is out there, which does have mass of some sort, they think. Previous studies had already shown that climate change was having strange effects on our planet's spin. Now the team from the University of Vienna and ETH Zurich have looked back through geological time to ask whether anything like today's rate of change has happened before. The answer unequivocally is no. The length of the day has never been perfectly fixed. Earth's rotation is constantly being nudged by gravitational pull of the moon, by processes deep within the planet's interior, and by shifts in the atmosphere. These forces push and pull in different directions, and over geological time, they produce swings in how long a day lasts. While scientists have now established that climate change has become a force powerful enough to stand alongside and in time dwarf all of them. To look back millions of years, the researchers turned to the fossilized remains of single-cell marine organisms that lived in the seafloor known as Bentic foraminifera. There we go, challenging my pronunciation skills again. The chemistry of these shells records ancient shifts in sea level. By looking at these shifts, the researchers can articulate how Earth's rotation must have changed. The specially developed machine learning algorithm designed to handle the uncertainties in data this old, allowed them to draw robust conclusions from materials stretching back to the late Pliocene, 3.6 million years ago. Oh, that was a long time ago. I get nostalgic about those days. Across the entire sweep of time, one data point stands out. Today, the current rate of climate driven by day lengthening 1.33 milliseconds per century. 1.33 milliseconds per century. I don't think you're going to notice it. Sounds trivial, but considering the forces involved, the mass redistribution is gigantic. Such a large shift in the length of the day requires a staggering redistribution of mass on the order of 1,000 gigatons, moving from the poles to the oceans. Said Professor Benedict Soja of ETH Zurich, co-author of the study. To visualize the amount, imagine a solid cube of ice placed over New York City. It would be 10 kilometers high, tall, Mount Everest. Okay, none of that stuff helps me visualize it. I don't know why you think it does, but hey, you gave it a shot. Anyway, there's your fun little story about the Earth slowing down and why. And we really can't do much about it except live and just point at the sky and go, look,
Yep.
the moon. That's about it. And we can yell.
I mean, of course, hypothetically, we'll not be alive by the time it even does anything, most likely. So,
well, you know, we'll be some form of humanoid, I'm sure. Right?
nah, well, the robots will take over, and they'll be the only ones left. It'll just be the robots here, and they'll be like, finally, the day has come.
They'll be humans.
The ancient humans have before told this day, and then they'll have a whole religion based off us humans. The robots.
I tend to think that humans will survive in some form as some mutated form for, you know, as we do now. We're just not going to look the same. We'll come back in 10 billion years. Who knows what we'll look like? We'll go in the dark. Who knows? Maybe we'll just be able to fly.
Maybe I think we'll just be cyborgs. I mean, that's kind of what I want the world to be, is that we just replace our entire body with robot parts. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
Well,
personally.
I think we're already a simulation, if that's true. We're probably already there. We would be like I'm saying.
We're in the 9th level of the Matrix.
All right, I was just saying, we're in the development stages of this new artificial world we're living in. We're definitely not real. A lot of shit that happens unexplainable. I won't get.
I mean, that's what today is about. Today is about all the weird and wacky shit that's supposedly happening. You know, our reality.
Scientists who discount anything, half of all scientists, I guess, pretty good chance we're a simulation. Can't discount it. I can't prove them wrong.
That's an interesting statistic.
Man, a lot of weird shit happens. A lot of weird shit happens that's unexplainable that would point towards a simulation. Doesn't prove it in any way. Anyway, let's do another story. It's about space and science.
Yeah,
you did your
space.
Hypo, right? I didn't clap for you.
That was the hypothetical was we're going to be robots.
Voyager. The headline for this is sciencespacedaily.com, and it's the longest headline maybe I've ever written. The editors didn't decide, the headline's 87 words long, let's leave it. Voyager 1 is now so far from Earth that a signal traveling at the speed of light takes more than 22 hours to reach it. So when engineers send a command, they wait nearly 2 days to know whether it even was received, because it needs to be responded to. It's like, hi. Imagine you're texting your friend. Hi. 2 days later. Hi. How's
That's
it
my
going?
Normal day to day.
2 days later. Great. 2 days later. How's mom?
I'm waiting for this to be
later,
relatable, but that is literally how I talk to people.
2 days. Yeah. Okay. So if you got friends that text like that, that's just like how it is. Okay.
Yep.
Sending a band to Voyager 1 is closer to mailing a letter than placing a phone call. The probe launched in September of 1977, nearly 50 years ago now. It's now roughly 16 billion miles from Earth, heading away from the sun at roughly 38,000 miles per hour. It ain't getting closer, folks. Unless again, the universe is a closed-end loop, and then you just make one big circle and you're back where you started. Maybe it is getting closer.
That would be pretty cool.
We will find that out somehow. Wouldn't that be cool? It got so far away, it started getting closer. Holy shit, what happened? A parallax. It's into a black hole. Ah. Anyway, in November, what's that called? A wormhole. Not a black hole, a wormhole. It's in a wormhole. And you're sitting there eating breakfast one day, and all of a sudden, the Voyager 2 shoots out next to you at the breakfast table. Hey, there it is. That'd be cool, right? It's a great science fiction thing. Sending command. Anyway, the probe launch is 38,000 miles per hour, getting farther away, in theory. In November 2026, Voyager 1 will become the first human-made object to pass 1 light day from Earth. The distance at which that signal needs a full 24 hours each way to make the trip. You don't have to say each way. That's silly. Anyway, Susan Dodd, the Voyager project manager at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, put the cadence concretely. If I send a command and say good morning on Voyager 1 at 8 a.m. on Monday morning, I am going to get Voyager's response back to me on Wednesday morning at approximately 8 a.m. The same gap shaped most of the consequential operation. A little episode of the probe's recent life. In November 2023, Voyager 1 stopped sending back coherent science and engineering data. And the team spent 5 months working out what had gone wrong and how to fix it. As JPL reported in April 2024, the issue traced to a single failed memory chip on one of the spacecraft's three onboard computers. And let's go ahead and let's think about what memory chips were back in 1977, right?
Yeah.
Hey, we're not what we got now. We're not what we got now. Silicon chips were brand new. The hand calculator was the most powerful computer in the world at the time. So let's not get, oh my God, we can fix it. We just put a new chip in. No. It's way out there. There was no way to repair the chip. The workaround was to break the affected software into smaller pieces and store them in different sections of the computer's memory. Doing that across the distance of interstellar space is not a matter of typing fast. Yes, you send a command and wait. Projects, you just gotta have patience. You're getting paid to have patience, by the way, folks. You're getting paid good money to sit there and wait. With Voyager, it takes 22 and a half hours at this point, and it's getting longer lag all the time. And 22 and a half hours to get the signal back. So we get the communications ready, send them up, and then like 2 days later, 45 hours at this point, you get the answer as if it had worked or not. There are no working ground simulators left for hardware this old. Spiker described the team's check on the patch as an old-fashioned read-through. There were 3 different people looking through the line by line of the patch code who were looking to send up, looking for anything that we had missed, calling it sort of eyes-only check of the software that we sent out. The patch reached the spacecraft on April 18th of 24. The team heard back April 20th, 2 days later, with the modification worked as intended. Hell yeah. On November 2026, milestone changes is most symbolic, but it sharpens the operating picture. The milestone is going to be that one day. So it's going to be one light day away as of November 2026. Having elections that year, month. So, hey, I can't wait for November just for that reason. But now I got another reason. Hey, our farthest space probe reaches a milestone of the distance light travels. Of course, radio waves travel the exact speed of light. There's no difference. Radio waves, light speed, same thing. And there is your fun little story.
Yeah, maybe hypothetically, right? They can send a new one out there to catch up to it.
I think they, yeah,
and maybe make some actual hardware updates. You know.
Right. Maybe they can spin one that goes out at 40,000 miles and catch up to it someday.
Yeah, maybe.
70,000 years to the future or something. I don't know.
I mean, I think it was. I'm sure the people who made the Voyager were also like, we do not know if this thing's going to last in space in general, and who knows how what technology will be by the time it gets anywhere, right?
The whole thing was a test the outer limits of our technology anyway. Yeah. So there you are.
And we found the limit, memory, which we have increased by 1,000-fold. We've increased memory, right? I don't even think people thought of tetrabytes back in 1970.
Yeah.
Gigabytes were like, wow, that's crazy. 1 gigabyte was a lot of expensive memory. I don't even know if it existed. A gigabyte existed in 1978 or whatever. I don't think so.
Yeah, we definitely didn't have artificial intelligence. We had to use a real thing.
For sure.
All righty then. We didn't have a whole lot of satellites in the air either that time, 1977, even though it seems like we probably should have. We had a few, but not like we do now. Nothing like that. It ain't like it's getting better. That story, I'm going to try to find a video of some sort. Let's spin the wheel.
We're going to re-roll because it landed on reminds me of a song again. It's a haiku. For my culture news. This story is Out of France for the French Open, in which Naomi Osaka has decided to wear something a little more glitzy than the usual tennis uniform, and everyone's losing their goddamn mind. This is my Wacky and Weird Culture segment. This is from David Moraquand on Your News Culture. Despite winning her opening match at Roland Garros, probably not how it's pronounced because it's French. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Roland Garros is probably how you pronounce it in French. Wait, where was I? I lost my story. Two things happened on the court. Suzanne Lenglen at the French Open yesterday. Japanese tennis star and former world #1 player Naomi Osaka beat her German opponent Laura Siegemund 6-3, 7-6, in parentheses 3, starting her Roland Garros campaign in style. Speaking of which, the second thing stole the spotlight, Osaka's taste for fashion. 28-year-old four-time Grand Slam champion walked onto the court in a ceremonial black skirt and sleeveless beaded bodice, which she removed to reveal a stunning sequined gold plain dress. "It's very couture," Osaka said of her dress after the match. "You know the Eiffel Tower at night. When it's sparkly, I kind of think I look a bit like that today." Osaka said the plain dress was designed by Nike, while the outer pieces were from Swiss couturier Kevin Germanier. "Athletes are in show business," Osaka said. "Grand Slam walk-ons are the only time that I possibly feel like I'm an entertainer." Yeah, that is true. At the end of the day, sports players are entertainment. So why are we trying to act like we're some sort of special, oh, you're destroying the proclivities of the French Open by... Wait a minute, why are people here again? To sit down, spend money, and watch me play tennis. So I'm a performer then. I'm performing a sport. She did voice other concerns. I actually got a little worried because when the sun hits the dress, it reflects a lot. So I was a little scared that the umpire was going to kick me off the court, she said. So I had to back up normal Nike dresses. This isn't the first time that Osaka has turned a show-stopping look on the tennis court, having wowed the crowd at last year's US Open with a red outfit and a sparkly red roses in her ponytail. Then, earlier this year at the Australian Open, she wore a jellyfish-inspired number, including a huge wide brim hat and a veil. However, and in depressingly predictable manner, the internet was divided on Osaka's latest fashion choices. Some were full of praise. Others bemoaned that a woman would dare incorporate her high fashion into her sportswear. Conservative fans are claiming the outfit is disrespectful to the sport and its legacy, which yet again is a monkey dance, right? I trained all my years to perform this in front of rich people. That's what I do. I'm a sports star. That's what we do. People who can afford the seats pay money to the venue, and then I go out there and I hit a ball with a racket, and I'm paid for that. And we don't think that's weird. I'm just saying, right? There's this whole thing, right? And you can talk about it easily with humor, right? There's high humor and there's low-brow humor. And that's what this is. Sports are considered high-brow entertainment. Sports, the opera, plays, oh, that's highbrow. Going to see a comedy film in the theater, lowbrow. K-pop, lowbrow, that kind of stuff. Lowbrow, you're lesser for liking those things and greater if you like something like tennis. So I can see why a lot of conservative fans are seeing this as a threat to their highbrow entertainment. Oh, you're making it into some sort of show. It is a show. You sit down and watch it. It's a show. Conservative fans are claiming the outfit is disrespectful to the sport and its legacy, while others are going down the "how dare she not wear something more demure" route. In order to not give a platform to the sexist comments, let's stick with this one, which resumes things quite nicely. There's a further personal dimension to this backlash, which is where things turn uglier. Osaka has been open about her media anxiety and struggles with mental health. On Saturday, the 23rd of May, she said that she enjoys fashion since "I don't talk a lot, so I can talk through my clothes." She added, That means I can be as loud with colors or patterns or fabric as I want. But I think that's the fun part. I feel like we lost that a little in tennis. I know there are some kids or some people that are similar to me that hopefully feel the same way about my outfits. But yeah, I am a little dramatic when it comes to my fashion sense. Regardless, it seems that a certain dark corner of the tennis world just can't seem to move with the times and celebrate bold choices, especially when it comes to policing women's bodies and criticizing what female athletes wear on the court. It's been seen before. If an outfit is too loud or stylish, the athlete is accused of mistaking the court for a runway and risks a code violation warning for unsportsmanlike behavior. If the sportswear is too tight, the athlete is too provocative and lacking decorum. And if an outfit is deemed not appealing enough, the athlete should be making more of an effort for the sake of the sport. Okay, you can't be ugly, you can't be pretty, you can't be sexy, you can't show off, but also you're literally there to show off. Hey guys, I'm here to win the fucking championship. Yeah, it's a double standard for sure. It's a lose situation for people on the tennis court. Of course, this reminds me of when I can't remember which sister it was. One of the Serenas, Serena, or maybe it was a Serena. I don't remember.
It would have been Serena. It would have been Serena.
She
was Serena.
She was dancing. She did a dance.
No.
She danced in a black way, and people were lost their fucking minds. Why is she celebrating by doing, what is it, crumping? It's not crumping. I can't remember the name of the dance now. It's a dance associated with gang culture. And she did that, and everyone was like, oh, she's turning the tennis into blackness. Oh no, we're getting attacked. A notable example came in 1985, when American player Ann White was also told to wear something more appropriate by the Wimbledon referee after she played her first round in a long-sleeved white spandex bodysuit. Then came the 2018 US Open, where Serena Williams wore a custom Nike tutu after her catsuit made to improve her blood circulation and avoid blood clots post-pregnancy was banned from the French Open because catsuits are sexy in film, so they must be sexy on the sports too. Thankfully, following Serena's catsuit uproar, the Women's Tennis Association, WTA, finally announced that it had modernized its dress code with the rollout of a new rule which allowed for leggings and mid-thigh length compression shorts to be worn without a skirt. Still, the history of women's dress code, it's just, for me, it's funny because having to wear a skirt in general for me is sexualization. Like, why women on the tennis court or in gymnastics or whatever weren't originally, they are now, but weren't originally allowed to wear shorts or pants, right?
Before you
must wear a skirt. We have to see under your skirt when you're hitting that tennis ball. It's very important for us in the sport. It's literally pointless. Still, the history of women's dress code remains dishearteningly contentious and laced in sexism and in some cases racism. And despite more encouraging moves over the year, like Wimbledon's relaxing its rigid dress codes rules in 2023, poor outfits still bring out archaic reactions. As for Osaka's gold number, former British number 1 Annabelle Croft said a lot of players would not be able to live up to the expectations of walking out in a custom-made outfits like Osaka's. If you go out there in an extraordinary outfit, you've got to live up to that and have the confidence to play in it and give the crowd the tennis as well as the outfit, said on BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra. Naomi can handle it. She really loves it and she's not fazed by it, and she has the skills to show it. As for those who are fazed by a woman expressing herself through fashion and controlling her own narrative on a global arena, it sounds like you're the ones guilty of unsportsmanlike behavior. At best and at worst, overt sexism. Let Osaka sparkle. And that ends David Marquand's, I guess, opinion piece here on wearing whatever you want on the... Yeah.
There's no sport where you can wear any uniform you want. So I just wanted to point that out.
Just because it's a rule doesn't mean it's right. I don't agree with it.
As far as uniforms go, tennis is more liberal than a lot of them are. Golf is pretty liberal, but... Again, tennis is very, very famously conservative, not just with women. Wimbledon used to make you wear all white. And Andre Agassi, I think, boycotted it, right? What, Andre?
These things can only change if people do something about it. So that's what Osaka's doing. She's change the narrative by continuing to go against it. That's how you make change.
Andre Agassi, the tennis icon, famously boycotted Wimbledon for 3 years because he refused to conform to their strict all-white dress code. Roger Federer, the Swiss maestro, was cautioned by tournament officials wearing shoes with bright orange soles during his first round match. This is tight-ass Wimbledon, by the way, not the French Open. Another one was another male. So again, making the females wear dresses is very sexist. It's like, oh, we want to see their butts. I think that's all that is. I just don't even know what that is. I have no idea why that's a thing. It's just that is really sexist. But my haiku is, I mean, this is not unique to tennis, by the way. Yeah, there's stupid regulations. The NFL
I
will
think
fine
playing
you
sports
for
in
wearing
skirts is nice, but obviously, yeah, your butt's gonna show, and then people yell at you when your butt shows. Like, you're making me wear a skirt, and then it's like, man, my butt, I'm gonna have a cheek slip out. You have to wear 15 different layers under your skirt to make sure a cheek doesn't slip out. And it's like, why do I have to go through all this trouble? Yeah.
You can look it up. There's a famous protest where a female tennis player went out there with the panties on and actually did. I don't know if it was Wimbledon. It was somewhere. But anyway.
It's probably somewhere, yeah. Maybe not like the big open, yeah.
A lot of male fans are interested in that match for sure. Anyway, I would just get on to my sort of a non-sequitur for my haiku. Is just all sports have uniform regs, and depending on what they are, they just get stupid. Don't forget the NFL has some of the stupidest NFL regs, right? If you put on eyeshadow on your face right here, right, and you put like numbers or whatever, they'll find you. The NFL will find you for that. That's not part of the uniform. It's eyeshadow on my face.
Who gives a shit?
Nobody even sees my face.
It's just control. Right? It's just like, straight up control. I
dude.
I don't have anything going on in my life. I have to control sports players.
It's their money. Nobody's making you play in this tournament. It's you're free to not play. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, that's all. My haiku says that tennis has clothes regs for the clothes you wish to wear. All sports have these rules. They just do. Maybe bowling or.
I know bowling probably does too.
Cornhole probably doesn't have any rules. So that's I don't know. But yeah, I'm just saying, all your bigger sports are like, why is that guy wearing a chicken suit out there in a tennis court? You can't do that. I'm wearing a chicken suit to play this game. Try and stop me. Well, they can stop you. It's their tournament. Yeah. That's it. No, it's their tournament. They have to invite you to their tournament. Let me make this clear. Nobody has to let you play tennis anywhere. There is no right to play tennis in this entire world. You have no right to play tennis, and you definitely don't have the right to get paid for it. So I just wanted to point out, this is not the most human rights struggle I've ever seen in my life. This is rich people bitching about. That's all I get.
I'm just saying, you can't make changes if you don't actually do the change. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying people should go out there wearing chicken suits. I'm just saying I think Osaka wants to change the narrative of, being allowed to wear more fashion,
I was making things
instead of just
I was using the logical fallacy of the slippery slope argument. Well, if we let them wear that, next thing you know, they're just going to wear flying suits out there and fly around in the tennis court. Maybe they'll just wear. Maybe
they'll be good at tennis. I don't know.
Tactical military gear to play tennis. How about that? All right.
Do you have a video? I still haven't gotten anything.
He's only playing tennis. All right. Hey, I almost got
still
your
no video
here.
Oh, you almost got me.
I got it. Sort of, but you can just start it at the beginning and play it to wherever you want to. I'll send it to you in a minute. So I get my phone. And
we have to send it to me now because it's yours. This is the last story.
I had to get it in my history of my thing so I could. At least recent history. All right, so this day in history, we're gonna do this day in history, and
I'm getting the same stuff I've already gotten today. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, wait.
Yeah, I got hypothetical and associate again.
Let me get this video up so I can see.
Here we go. Alliteration headline.
The book I was listening to. Man, I fell asleep listening to a book and went through 4 chapters while I was sleeping, so I gotta go back.
That's why I usually put that stuff on a sleep timer, so that it just falls asleep after 30 minutes and then it doesn't play anymore.
I can just go back and re-listen to the stuff I already heard. All right, let's get you a video real quick. Yeah, I know. Oops. I know. I'm taking time. A couple more clicks and I'll be done. Yeah, just start that video at the beginning and just end it. Nothing really happens in it, so. We can just talk about how stupid that person is. This day in history, going back to, we're not going. 1660 on May 27th of 1660, the Treaty of Copenhagen between Sweden, Denmark, and Norway was signed, concluding a generation of warfare between the two powers, as well as helping establish the modern boundaries of Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. In case you were wondering when that happened, that was 1660. In 1703, founded in this day in 1703 by Peter the Great. Not Peter the Great, not Peter the Average. He was great, apparently. St. Petersburg. Yes, the city of St. Petersburg was founded in this day. It's played a vital role in Russian history, especially known as the scene of the 1917 revolutions in the fiercely defended city during World War II. And of course, during World War II, it was called Leningrad, not St. Petersburg. 1819, American author and lecturer Julia Ward Howe, who is best known for Battle Hymn of the Republic, was born. Glory, glory, hallelujah. And we used to change the words to that when we were kids. 1889, American Petrochemical Corporation, South Penn Oil, later known as Pennzoil, was founded in Pennsylvania. One of your first oil companies, maybe your first oil company, perhaps, because Pennsylvania was your first gusher. That was your first gusher in Pennsylvania. 1907, American biologist Rachel Carson was known for her writings on environmental pollution, with natural history of the sea, was born in Springdale, Pennsylvania. She alerted us to the horrors of DDT, killing your birds. 1911, American Democratic politician Hubert Humphrey was pleased as punch to be here. Used to be a great impersonation. He talked in his high voice and he was always enthusiastic. I'm just pleased as punch to be here. But he was the American senator from Minnesota, vice president under Lyndon Johnson, or ran for president against Nixon in '68. He was born in this day in Wallace, South Dakota. Happy birthday to Hubert Humphrey. 1912, American short story writer and novelist John Cheever, known as the Chekhov of the suburbs, was born. Check that off your list. Haha, check off. Get it. 1933, Walt Disney released the animated short film of the Three Little Pigs, which featured the songs Who's Afraid of Big Bad Wolf, highlighting fortitude in the face of adversity. Both the cartoon and the song proved highly popular in the Depression-era moviegoers. But, I mean, you saw what you saw, man. There was no color pictures. Talkies were relatively new. Of course, it was easier to put talkies to a animated film because you didn't have it wasn't even a film. It was just animation. 1941, in World War II, the British Navy sank the German battleship Bismarck. Of course, there's a song by Johnny Horton, Sink the Bismarck. Maybe we could have played that one. I don't know.
We sink the Bismarck. We are the best. That's probably how it goes.
Something like that. It was very, Johnny Horton wrote some great lyrics. He, of course, wrote the Battle of New Orleans was probably Johnny Horton's biggest hit. But I remember Sink the Bismarck was great. Battle of New Orleans was great. We fired our guns and the British kept it coming. It wasn't quite as many as there was a while ago. I loved it. And that's not the Bismarck song. I don't know why I'm singing it. 1964, former Indian Prime Minister, the guy who invented the Nehru jacket, Jawaharlal Nehru, the leader of Indian independence, died in New Delhi. I wonder if he was buried in a Nehru jacket. I hope he was. Anyway, he was. Oops, I accidentally clicked on that link, and now I'm gonna read some crap. Fact or fiction about India? All right, let's do that. Let's do a quiz. Let's do a quiz about India real quick while I wait for my page to load. Come on, get back to what I was reading there. Internet, what are you waiting on? All right, back to 1964. In 1977, the British punk band Sex Pistols released their second single, God Save the Queen. She ain't no human being. was quickly banned by the BBC for some reason and other outlets in England. Of course, you could hear it on pirate radio off the coast. 1993, the terrorist bomb went off in Florence, damaging a wing of the famous Uffizi Gallery, Florence, Italy. If you're not wondering where that is, Britannica thinks we're all geography majors. Geography majors. 1994, exiled from the Soviet Union for writing the Gulag Archipelago. Alexander Solzhenitsyn, who I know how to pronounce his name, even though the spelling is ridiculously hard to visualize, because I heard his name all the time as a child. He won the 1970 Nobel Prize for Literature. Anyway, he returned to his Russian homeland on this day in 1994, after the Soviet Union went tango uniform. Of course, I take full credit for the Soviet Union. I maybe mentioned this before. Now, I joined the Marine Corps in 1985, and I left. By the time I left the Marine Corps, the Soviet Union was finished. So I take full credit for destroying the Soviet Union. It was me all along. 2000, Canadian ice hockey player Maurice Rocket Richard, who helped the Montreal Canadiens win 8 Stanley Cups. Remember the days when Montreal Canadiens used to win Stanley Cups? Boy, that was a long time ago. He became the first NHL player to score 50 goals. Anyway, he died in this day in 2000 at the age of 78. 2020, American writer and gay rights activist Larry Kramer died at the age of 84. He was confrontational style of advocacy. While divisive, was credited many while catalyzing the response to the HIV/AIDS crisis in the United States. He got to be 84. I'm not sure he died of AIDS, though, but he was an activist. Not sure he had AIDS or anything, for that matter. 84 is a ripe old age. Pretty nice age. I don't know if it's a ripe old age. I think 100 is a ripe old age. 84 is like, You're right on your expiration date, I think, at 84. 1930 is the opening of the Chrysler Building in New York City, one of your most recognizable buildings in the New York City skyline because it's Art Deco style. On this day in 1930, history's fiercest race for the Sky crowned a champion, at least a temporary champion, with the opening of the 77-story Chrysler Building in New York City at 1,046 feet. It became the world's tallest building at the time, overtaking the Eiffel Tower. It's been passed by a bunch of stuff by now. I used to work right next to it in the MetLife building, which is, I don't know, I think right across the freaking street or something. It ain't that far away. I can look right in the windows of it from the MetLife building, which is about 60 some stories if you count the roof. And that was a cool job. Having to work on skyscrapers at the top of Manhattan, a cool damn job if you can get it. Vincent Price is a feature biography. Vincent Price, we already covered him in our recently covered stuff. So Vincent Price was born this day, May 27th, 1911. October 25th in 1993 was his day. He passed away in Los Angeles. He was born in St. Louis. Happy birthday to Mr. Vincent Price. Other birthdays today, Sam Snead, American golfer, born in 1912. He played on the tour until his 80s. He played a long time on the golfing tour, and might have been 70s. Or let's see, you've been playing in the 70s. You were in 88 at the turn of the century, so I don't think he played that long. But hey, he played before there was a seniors tour, so. And he would still qualify. You got to qualify to play. And you can't wear whatever you want in golf, by the way. You just can't wear what the hell you want. They've loosened the rules over the years, but you cannot wear a chicken suit. Definitely can't. It's Christopher Lee's birthday. We talked about Vincent Price. Vincent Price was in a lot of horror movies. Christopher Lee actually played Dracula in a very famous movie. English actor Christopher Lee turned 104. Henry Kissinger, famous war criminal. Born in 1923, he'd be 103, but he thankfully died a few years ago. Thank you for dying finally, Henry. One of the more useless people in the history of the world. Basically conned his way into a job as United States Secretary of State and all this stuff in the Nixon administration. Maybe he had some blackmail or something, I don't know. But he was basically a celebrity that got to be Secretary of State. Just a disgrace. 1975, Jamie Oliver, British chef, not related to John Oliver, I don't think. Maybe they're related. But it is Jamie Oliver's 51st birthday, born in 1975. And our whole national day, it's National Grape Day, National Flip Flop Day, it's National Grape Popsicle Day, which grape popsicles have, there's a rumor, there's some grape in there somewhere, perhaps. National Senior Health and Fitness Day, National Cellophane Tape Day. Oh boy, you really got to celebrate cellophane tape. I want to have your life. If your life is about celebrating cellophane tape,
Woohoo!
on a
Thank
yearly
you,
basis,
tape, for keeping things together.
What'll I do with these 2 pieces of paper that ripped? I can't ever tape them together because the tape, I can't see
My
through
green
the tape.
screen is here. Thank you to the cellophane tape. My green screen would be in pieces today because it's made out of paper.
That's right. It's shiny and see-through. And you can read words through it as long as you tape it properly. Repairing. And again, splicing your little, analog tapes back in the day before, digital stuff. We had to splice tape with that cellophane. Yeah, that'd be cellophane. It couldn't have a bunch of stuff on it. It didn't actually, as long as it was on the back of the tape, it didn't matter. Anywho, there's your fun little thing for today. National Grape Day, National Flip Flop Day, National Grape Popsicle, and National Senior Health and Fitness Day. So those 5 things. It says 6. I can count. That's only 5. So that's everything. Your mispronunciation, technical glitches, your haikus for Wednesday, and your weirdness, all the weirdness you can handle, probably more than you can handle, for Wednesday, May 27th, on Before Grapes and Grape Popsicles. In that order. Must be in that order only.
Of course, grape popsicles aren't grape flavored at all because you can't actually transfer grape into a flavor. It just doesn't work. The people tried and failed.
You can add some grape juice extract into it, but it's not going to be fully grape juice.
No,
right? I would say.
It just doesn't. For some reason, grapes are like, nope, we're not getting it. We're not going in there. Good luck with that, though.
All right.
Hope you have a.
All right.
Hope you have a nice one.
Uh-huh. Right on.
But
alliteration headline.
Alliteration headline.
All right.
Skyward soar of splendid spires for the Chrysler building. Lovely, as you've said before, right? The building that you recognize more, than any other building on the skyline, even the taller ones. Because it has that really cool top.
And
it kind of looks like a cake, a layered cake on top.
And they put that spire at the top just to make all this building. So yeah.
Vincent's vibrant villains vault into, I don't know, it's cinematic terror. It's not. There's no. I couldn't think of a word for cinema that starts with a V. Maybe V wasn't the right one for that one.
Villainy.
Voluminous villainy. Voluminous villainy. Voluminous villainy.
There you go. That's it then? You're only 2?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
you're okay. You're allowed to do 2. You're allowed to do just 1.
Get grape. Good. Gushing.
Get going, grapey.
Glorily. Gushing glorily.
Get going.
Frolic fabulously in flip-flops, flaunting fun and freedom. I guess. Like a nice flip-flop. Of course, I'm not wearing flip-flop. I'm wearing Birkins or whatever. Because they stay on your feet better than flip-flops. And that is it. No international UN observances today. It is still the weekly solidarity with peoples from non-self-governing territories. Yet again, places like Puerto Rico, which don't have self-governing. They're governed by the United States. And they, I guess, like it that way. They've voted on it like at least a handful of times. And they still just want to be a territory. So there's a lot of other places that are just territories that aren't self-governed by many different countries. I just mostly remember the U.S. ones the most because I obviously was educated in the U.S. about them. So celebrate solidarity with them, whether they want to be or don't want independence. That's their prerogative. And this has been Allison here from the Netherlands, Roger from the East Coast of the US, as we tie off another Wacky and Weird Wednesday to remind ourselves that we're all in a simulation. So none of this stuff matters anyways. We'll see you tomorrow for Thursday's 13, in which we'll be covering all the general news, and a list of 13 things will be drawn up. So make sure you are subscribed to the Before Coffee podcast channel on YouTube, following on the same name on Twitch. Turn those notifications on so you know when to go live and post a video, so you know when. Know all about our list for tomorrow. Thank you everyone who's already following and subscribed. And of course, our Before Coffee supporters on Patreon. Appreciate all the support, everyone. And here is our mic drop moment.
Yes, unfortunately, we do not get to see the guy or whoever it is
truck
drive. Yeah, we did. You can stick with it long enough. You'll see the tow truck arrive in the scene and go, "What do you want me to do?" Right? I can't drive that shit. Well, you can pull them onto the ground. Somebody pull them up from behind.
CCTV. So there's no audio because they usually it's an extra. It's extra if you have audio.
Right before this, this camera was just pointing down the highway, looking at traffic.
Yeah,
it's like, wait a minute, we got a situation, and the controller just swiveled it around. There we are. Let's see if this dumbass gets out of the car. There's wipers on for some reason.
That's a deep stuck. I can't open his door. Has to crawl out to the back window.
There's the tow truck. Tow truck's there, right on the scene. Probably just cruising through the neighborhood and said, "Hey, what the fuck, man? I got me a job that's going to pay me a lot today."
I do wonder if there's somebody who actually watches this CCTV. I feel like that would be.
That's not a tow truck. That's a DOT truck. That's not a tow truck. That's just the flashing lights guy going, "Hey, dumbass, you know this road's closed, right?" "I sure do." Okay.
That's why I removed the stickers.
Yeah. He was on his way to the local Mensa meeting, and he's running late. That's what it was. Damn it! I always take this road. Why is it closed? How is it inconvenient? It's all about me all the time. I can't believe they've
done this to me. Yeah.
It's all me all the time. All me all the time. All me all the time. I'm the only one that matters.
I do wonder. Yeah, I guess mostly it's just people standing around. I'm just skipping through the video. But yeah, it would have been nice to actually see. Oh wait, no, the tow truck has arrived now.
Yeah, it's behind them.
Here at 5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes. They attach it.
Yeah, the tow truck's behind. All right,
pull it out. Damn tree in the way.
How much
ruining my tow truck core.
You're in a race against time. By the way, this concrete's just going to continue to harden.
I wonder if they are going to sue this man for money and damages. Probably, right? You have to pay for that, by the way. You have to go out there and pour the concrete yourself, bitch. I'm not talking about his vehicle. I'm talking about the state is going to be like, "Hey, we were remodeling this road and you fucked it up. You have to pay for it."
Imagine that vehicle's not paid for. It's completely ruined. Now you just got to pay for a car you ruined that you can't drive. The insurance ain't going to pay for it. They ain't going to reimburse you.
This is it getting pulled out. Here we go. At around 9 minutes, we can see it get pulled out of the cement.
Oh, you went that far.
There it goes. Yeah, I kind of cut around just to see the thing people want to see. People want to see it removed. There you go. It's right on. It's free. Nobody died.
I watched this whole thing
somebody's
the other day.
Entire pride destroyed and shattered. I thought I was better than the world, but
your license plate number is broadcast to the entire world. And your Nissan. Well, you know that pickup truck is not used for anything. Of course they do. You can tell that's not used for anything that a truck is used for by the fact that the back is covered up. Yeah, it's like not any. Yeah, it was clean.
No rust. It was clean. Yeah, now it's messed. Now you need new tires. I don't know how you get cement out of a tire.
The tires will be fine.
Okay.
I think the tires will be fine. It's the rest of the car. It's the mechanical stuff. It's got like concrete inside of it, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how you clean concrete out.
Your brakes are
I don't know how
permanently
that
working,
works.
actually. You get out and you.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.